Okay. Hi, everyone. So, my name is Mega, and I am going to be doing this public speaking class for you guys for week 1. And I hope you learn a lot about public speaking. Okay, so before we start, I'd like to go over some class expectations. So, if you have a question, raise your hand and ask your teacher for help. Listen carefully while the video is playing because there are going to be a lot of important things, especially because public speaking is really difficult to just learn without paying attention. So just try to pay attention. I know sometimes we zone out, but just try your hardest to focus and keep going. Okay, so stay quiet during the lesson, stay focused, and look at the video. Think and learn while you listen. Join the discussion when it's time to talk because trust me, guys, we'll have a lot of discussions. Take part in activities when your teacher says it's time and do your best and have fun. Okay, this is an essential question for this week. We do it every single week, and it's just going to be a different question each week for what we're going to be focusing on. So for today, it is what is public speaking and why is it an important skill? So what I want you guys to do is just discuss with a partner, anyone in the classroom, pick a partner, and just for 4 minutes talk about public speaking. It can be anything. If you run out of time, just talk about anything that is related to public speaking. Maybe you've spoken in front of a group of people before. How was that? Was it scary? Were you nervous? And just keep going. Okay. Okay, great job. Now we're going to talk about some of the questions that you guys have discussed. Okay, so the first one is, what is public speaking? Public speaking means talking to a group of people. You share your ideas, thoughts, or information with others. We use public speaking in everyday life where we answer questions in class, give presentations, talk in groups, speak at meetings, or share ideas with friends. Public speaking helps us speak clearly and feel way more confident. Now, why is communication important? Communication is important because it helps us share our ideas, feelings, and information with others. Good communication helps people understand each other, solve problems, work together, and build relationships. We use communication every single day at school, at home, and with friends. Okay, TED Talk time. This is my favorite part. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this TED Talk, and you guys are going to kind of jot down in your brain, in your head, some things that you liked about her speech, what you think she could do better, and anything that you noticed. Maybe you noticed the way she made eye contact with the audience, how she was looking constantly at the audience when she was speaking, how she was moving her hands, how she was talking with a lot of vocal variety, which is basically her voice was kind of changing when she was speaking. Maybe you noticed some of those things. Keep those in mind. Let's get on going. Okay, now that we just watched her TED Talk, we're gonna do the discussion that we talked about. So, either in a group or with the partner that you discussed with, try to just share a couple of things that you might have liked about her speech, maybe want her to improve on, or some things that you might have noticed. I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes to discuss that with your group or with your partner, and we'll talk back then. Okay, now we have 1 more minute, so it's time to kind of wrap up our discussions. Okay, so Now time's up. Before we move on to the slide, I just wanted to share some things that I've noticed about her speech. Her hook, which is the first part of the speech, as you can see here on the slide, was very funny. It made the audience pay attention to her speech and everything that was in her speech. Like her whole speech was about lying, and she made it really interesting by playing 2 truths and a lie at the beginning. And then she kept on going and adding more funny jokes. So the people in the audience won't get bored of listening to her keep talking about lying. And what she also did, she also talked about statistics. She shared a story about a test that happened and the results of it. So those were some things that I liked. And also she had a really good conclusion. At the end, she kind of just summarized it up, all about what her speech is about. She said how it can affect relationships, how it can affect people in everyday life, and their health, and so many other things. Okay, so let's keep talking about the hook. Like I said earlier, a hook is the first part of your speech. It gets the audience's attention. Like I said, she played 2 truths and a lie. It made the audience pay attention, guess the answer, have fun. Why is it good? It's good because it makes the people want to listen to her speech and just have fun, and understand what she's talking about, and really engage into her speech, which is really good. For example, I have this sample hook about pizza. I know many of you guys might have tried pizza and really like it, because let me tell you, I really like it. And I think this would just be really fun. So this is how the hook goes. Imagine this: cheesy, hot, yummy, delicious. Can you guess what it is? Pizza. So this hook is really good because it made the audience curious and excited. When I said it, you guys might have been like, "Oh my god, the hook was so good." Yeah, it made you excited. So you want to hear more about pizza. Okay, let's keep on going. After the hook, Georgia shares like an experience in talking about lying. She explains what lying means, why people lie, and how lying can affect us in every single day of life. A tip would be to make sure your speech has one clear main idea. Ask yourself, what do I want my audience to learn? In her speech, it was lying. She wanted people to know that lying is not good. It can damage your health, and it can kind of make people not want to trust you. So let's keep on going with the pizza story. I made a little snippet, a little clip, or part so that we can kind of analyze each and every part of a hook, main idea, and keep on going. So I made a little main idea for pizza. So now this is how it goes. Now let's talk about pizza. Pizza is one of the most popular foods in the world. Why do people love it? It's cheesy. It has many flavors. People can enjoy it together. So this makes your main idea, it kind of tells the audience what your speech is about and makes them want to learn more about it and understand what you're really trying to go for. Okay, now let's move on to tell a story. Georgia, what she did was really smart. She shared a personal experience in her speech. A personal experience is something that happened to you. Stories are good because they help the audience understand, make the speech interesting, and help people connect with you. You can use a short story from your own life in your speech. This is what I do because I take public speaking classes, and I love to incorporate my daily life into my speeches. One, it makes my speeches way longer, which is a really good thing. And it makes the audience more engaged because sometimes people really want to hear about your funny stories. Maybe you have something really funny that happened today and you want to share it with the audience. That will make them really engaged, which is kind of like listening to your speech and really into your speech, which will make your speech way more successful and just a really good speech. Okay, let's keep on going with the pizza story. So, for the tell a story part, I came up with this. One day, I came home from school and smelled pizza. I ran to the kitchen and saw a big, cheesy pizza slice on the table. I was so excited. A story can make people interested, help people understand, make your speech more fun. So, tell a story from your life. Okay, let's keep on going. The last part. To be honest, this is one of the most important parts. The last part of your speech, the conclusion. Georgia at the end reminds us of her main idea. She brings her ideas back together and ends her speech clearly. She talks about kind of saying that now you know how lying can affect you. It can affect your mental health, it can affect your kind of friendship and relationships with people. And she talks about a lot of other things at the end of her speech. She doesn't add new information, she just kind of summarizes her speech. Okay, so let's keep on going with the pizza story. So, this is how the ending goes. Why do we love pizza? It's delicious, fun to share, and there are so many choices. Pizza brings people together, and that's why pizza is so special. This is a great conclusion. It reminds us of the main idea, brings everything back together, and ends the speech clearly. Make sure to end it strong because you want your main goal to be for the audience to remember what your speech was about. Like this speech was about pizza. And you might be thinking about pizza the next week when we start class. So just end it strong. Okay, so just a couple of things I want to go over for next week. So each week, we're going to have groups of 3, okay? So one group of students speaks while the others watch and learn. For example, week 1 would be group A, week 2 would be group B, week 3 would be group C. Then the rotation starts again. During their week, so your class, for example, if it had 27 students, your teacher will be splitting the class into 3. So group A, group B, group C. So group A, when they give their speeches, group B and group C will be doing impromptu speeches and acting challenges. For an impromptu speech, impromptu just means kind of giving your speech on the moment. It's not prepared or anything, you didn't memorize anything, you just kind of come up, stand in front of everyone, and just start speaking. For example, here's a kind of scenario that you can go off of. One day you found $100 on the side of the road. What do? You can make a speech about this. Like, if I find $100 on the side of the road, this is what I would do. But don't do what I just said. Kind of formulate how you're going to do your speech. Like, think for a few minutes and come up with a really good hook, and then kind of go into what I just said. Like, this is what I would do. I would go spend it on maybe a large sized stuffed teddy bear, or maybe something really fun like slime, or maybe a new bike. And then for acting challenges, you will be given a prompt like, what if you got a dog as your birthday present? And you would kind of be acting that out. So next week, I will have on slides for the teacher to kind of give you an acting prompt and an impromptu prompt for that week's class. So you'll have 20 minutes at the end of class because our lectures are only going to be 25 minutes long, and the rest of the 20 minutes you're going to be practicing impromptu, acting, and prepared speech. They can be 1 to 2 minutes long. You can make your speeches however long you'd like,
but 1 to 2 minutes is pretty much what you need. It's standard. Um, so when somebody is speaking, doing impromptu speech, acting, or doing a prepared speech, make sure we listen, learn, and participate in class activities. And also, um, two students can help with timer and grammarian. So timer is somebody who records the time of how long the person did their impromptu speech, the acting challenge, or the prepared speech, and give them their time at the end. And then grammarian is the person who fills out the filler words. So on a sheet, there'll be words like all, like. If people use those in their speech, you kind of just check it off, and at the end of their speech, you show them what they kind of used and what they can improve on. Because at the end, our goal is to make sure you use just a few filler words, not that many. It's okay if you use a lot the first time you speak because that's pretty standard. Even I did it the first time I spoke in front of a lot of people, but it's okay. You got this. So the goal at the end of the day is give every student should give regular speeches and keep the class organized. Okay, now that we have just a bit more time, we can move on to introducing ourselves. So because we have a teeny bit time today, we can share our name, your grade, one thing you like, why you joined public speaking. Keep it short and simple. This is a chance for you to meet your classmates and practice speaking. So your teacher can just either you can go stand in front of the class or you can just stand up from your seat and share your name, grade, one thing you liked, why you joined public speaking, and then you can just be done if you want. Or you can share whatever you would like. The main point of this is just for you to practice a little bit of speaking. Okay, thank you guys. It was a pleasure teaching you today, and I will be back